All right, we'll get a start on this, and people flow in. That's up to them for being late. So my name is Billy.
Anthony.
We are part of a podcast called Underground Inc. We're hanging out at the Podcast Arcade in that room over there, sponsored by Nebraska Furniture Mart. We don't matter. This guy does. This is Mike Fielding from the mighty Boosh.
Hello.
So yes, good welcome to the Omaha and Council Bluffs area. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out.
You're welcome.
So you got these pigtails and
yeah. I've gone for the zombie cheerleader look today. Yeah, why not? You know.
Okay, yeah. Just was that the plan or what?
It's funny because yesterday I was outside the front and I kept seeing this costume laid out on the wall, and me and my agent kept seeing it all day. So in the end my agent was like, "Why don't you put it on? Just put it on." I was like, "Really?" I was like, "We don't know where it's been." She was like, "Put it on." So anyway, not aggressive like that, but I put it on and it actually suited me. Not this one. This was one yesterday. It was almost like a similar kind of dance outfit. It was clearly a child's outfit.
Okay.
But it suited me, and I was wearing that yesterday all day. And so then today I decided to get a costume and dress up again.
Oh, okay. So this one you went and picked up?
I picked this up.
And the one from yesterday you found.
I found.
Very funny.
Yeah.
So you're like, I might as well just do this the rest of the week.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Maybe other convention appearances.
Just
become a thing.
Just find random clothes that people have just discarded.
It's a new tradition.
I don't know what happened in the costume. You know, something might have happened. I don't know.
Hey, there's risks in life that we take.
Maybe there's a child missing somewhere.
Oh. Oh no, and they're gonna be like, well, they were, they're about really high. They were wearing this, and they're gonna pick you up.
Yeah. I'm kind of scared to go to the airport tomorrow.
So, like I said, we're not gonna make this about us or anything. We're not gonna, be super interview based. Your fans or you're interested in what he does or is doing. So, we can guide this along. But if you have anything that you want to talk about, please, you're the fans. Let's make this about you. And if not, we can guide it along until someone's comfortable. So is there anyone that has anything they want to say? Yes, you?
Question.
Sure.
I love my Boosh. I've probably seen all the episodes way too many times. I was wondering what your favorite part about playing Cameos is, and being on the show in general, and then maybe if you would have the least favorite part or anything that you didn't enjoy about doing it.
No, I liked pretty much most of it. The fact that my brother and Julian, when they write it, we get all of our friends and family involved. My mum and dad are in the show. Julian's mum and dad are in the show. We've got all of our friends that we used to grow up with, and that. It's just a whole family thing, a family vibe, and I used to go into on set every day, and I wouldn't know what to expect because there'd be a new set built for part of it for the next episode, and I'd be like, whoa, what's happening? You built a hitcher's hat or something, Be like, it's pretty crazy, and all the when Noel sent me the scripts, I'd be like, what the hell? Really? What? Okay, I'll go with this. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. There's maybe the one thing about filming on set is that it's long days. So sometimes I would get picked up. So I lived furthest away from the set. When we filmed, I would get picked up first, but sometimes I wouldn't be used until maybe mid-afternoon. So you're sitting around all day in your costume, and it's fun at first, but sometimes you get overtired and you just So I used to have a little sleep in my costume, just on the little chair, and then I have to go back into makeup again because my wig would be wonky or my makeup would be smudged. They were like, "Have you been sleeping again, Mum?" I'm like, "Well, what else can I do?" But apart from that, it's pretty fun all the time, really. Yeah.
So you said, when you got the script and everything, you're just like, what are you making me do? You had to have some sort of, because it's your brother.
Yeah,
and friends and whatnot. Yeah. And so you had to have some sort of prerequisite that okay, these guys are crazy, like actually seeing it in written form is like we actually have to do this.
Yeah, I mean, obviously no one knows what. Yeah, there's pretty much, I'd say, there's not much that I probably wouldn't do that Noel writes. I mean, he knows me pretty well. Obviously, we're
Sure.
brothers, so I don't think there's been a case where I've been like, I'm not sure if I want to do that because it's like, I don't unless you're like. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not arrogant or I'm not like a diva or anything. So I wouldn't have a diva moment and go, no, I can't do that. You get some actors that will do that. They go, no, I'm not doing that. But it's the kind of show it is. It's like it's a fun show.
Yeah.
It's a real show. So if I have to dress up as I don't know, a hedgehog or something,
or a zombie cheerleader.
Or a zombie cheerleader. Yeah.
No, that's very good. Yeah. He said, well, I can't really see myself doing this, but make it crazy, I'll do it. Anyone else? Yeah?
I have a question about the development of the character. Is that something that Noel and Julian already had developed, or is that something you had?
They had a kind of loose idea about what the character was, but then they wrote it in a way that they knew that I would just kind of, I mean, pretty much Naboo. I'm not putting on any voice. It's just me, pretty much. So, I'm just there because I'd never done any acting before. I'd never trained or anything. So they knew that, at the start, maybe I was new to it. So they didn't really. They just thought they'd let me just be raw and just kind of be myself in a way. Although I'm not a shaman, but it was almost just like going into it normally. Just I was just, and it worked. That's why a lot of people like the Boosh because it's charming. It's just Naboo's really real and he's just a normal kind of a lot of students like him because he's just a stoner and he's like it feels really, it's like a raw character, whereas like Rich for instance, he's a bit of he's an improviser. Bob Fossil, so he's the one that's run into the room and just be crazy, whereas I was a bit more chilled out and a bit more kind of. But I think it worked. The dynamic works. You've got all the different kind of levels of performance. But yeah, so I mean, it was nice for him to let me just go with it and do a lot of stuff we came up with on the day of filming as well. There'd be scripted bits, but then sometimes I'd be like change stuff around or. So it's easier to say, obviously, as well, because I've got a slight list. Take a lot of the S's out.
That's funny. Try and mask it. So you had mentioned, that you didn't have any training, you weren't really an actor. Was there always a plan for you to be in it? Or to this capacity and all that? Or,
I mean, my brother always said, because when we were growing up, we're funny in our own ways, but I had no confidence when I was growing up. He was always a comedian, though, so he thought he'd write me into the show just so that it would bring out my confidence and also, my ability as well, so, which is nice, I thank him a lot for that, because, it's made me a very confident person now, so, and yeah, I mean, my mum said something to me that meant so much. When we did our live Boosh tour, we played Brixton Academy. After the show, she was like, "Don't tell Noel this," but she was like, "I find you funnier than Noel." And I was like, "What? This is crazy." She was like, "Yeah." So I was like, "What? We never told me that when I was growing up." So it's hard being in my brother's shadow a lot, but now it's nice that I'm my own person as well now. So yeah,
So now that you've gotten into this field more, is there a plan to continue in it? With your brother, without?
Yeah, I mean, he's writing a new show. I don't know much about it at the moment. I just know he's writing stuff. But we might do another tour next year, me and him. Because we toured the year before last. We toured the States. Well, we did the North and the Centre. He did some stand-up for 40 minutes, then we did some characters. I dressed up as his wife on the stage. I dressed up as a hawk and had to get my arse out. Yeah,
So it's a little
pretty
more,
much,
you know,
most of England
adult
and
shows.
a lot of America have seen my backside. But yeah, so I think he wants to write another stand-up
Yeah,
tour.
no, that'd be fun.
Yeah, so yeah. But I've been dabbling in writing myself, doing bits and pieces with a friend of mine. So I might pick that up again, you know. Yeah. So.
Like for a show or a live,
Yeah,
or a live show?
we
or-
wrote a pilot for a TV show a while ago actually, and Noel script edited it and read it and said that, you know, it was, you know, for him to say to me my writing was really good, I was like, oh my god, like he was like, yeah, it's funny. I was like, what? Sometimes, you know, you have sometimes I don't have much belief in myself, so when someone says, oh, you know, that piece of writing is quite funny, I'm like, yeah, that's really good. But I haven't done anything with it, so I need
Sure.
to pick back
Yeah.
up, you know.
Now, would a lot of this stuff continue to be stuff that you try to get picked up, you know, over in the UK or?
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's hard because UK they haven't really got any money now anymore to make anything.
Or would you try and pitch it over here?
Yeah, who knows? I mean,
Whoever really picks it up, type of thing.
The only
Best,
the other way around it is to maybe, a friend of mine is a cameraman, so maybe I could film some bits.
Yeah.
And do like a teaser or something
Sure.
and put it online, YouTube, you know.
Yeah.
Just get a bit of interest that
Sure.
way, yeah.
I mean, you know, the show definitely has a following and whatnot. You know, a lot of people go the Kickstarter route
Yeah.
and stuff. Is that
Yeah.
something you'd consider?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's, you know, a lot of people do that now,
Sure.
don't they? So, yeah.
Anyone else? Yeah.
One of my favorite things that Boo does is when he's chiding the boys, tries to turn his back on them.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Can you turn your back on me?
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's standing up.
I tell you what, give me a shout something at me, you know, say something to me, like, you know, something a bit rude, and I'll
Yeah,
do
me-
it. Not too rude,
not
just
too-
go like, you know.
You don't know the crunch.
Look, I'm gonna have to turn my back on you. Oh, dear.
There you go. Fan dream fulfilled. So you said that you've gone and done some touring around here before.
Yeah.
Is this your first time in the Omaha
It
area?
is, yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's been lovely. It's been like, yeah, you guys have been really welcoming, and yeah, I've
Good.
enjoyed myself.
Do you hang out at the convention and then just kind of like go back to the hotel, or you hang out in town? And
Yeah, we went to the casino the other night. Actually.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
That was fun.
Good time.
Yeah, it was alright. It was good. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend the buffet. Don't do it. Don't do that. I got really excited. Went, yay, buffet, because I'm English or from London. I was like, yay, buffet, and then it was no, don't. Just don't do it.
So there's an obvious difference in the quality of a buffet over there than a
Kind of.
buffet.
Well, we don't really do
Buffet, oh.
buffets. That's not a thing, really.
So the idea is like, oh, look at all this
I know.
food, and then it's
Yeah.
never mind.
I did a buffet when I was in Vegas a few years ago, and I did a buffet there, and it was good buffet. They know how to do the buffets, but I don't know. Maybe it's because it was a casino. You know, maybe the buffet was an afterthought. Maybe it's like, well, we've got the gambling aspect. What can we add? Buffet.
Well, yeah, they're open 24 hours, so it's like
Yeah.
most people are just coming over,
Yeah.
wallowing in their
Maybe
loss of money or their.
Maybe I had too
drunk
much
drink.
food.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it was.
Maybe just wasn't.
But we went to the Mattress yesterday for dinner.
Oh, yeah,
that was
Mattress
nice.
Factory,
Yeah, really
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool little place, little bar type of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Although we had about 30 screaming ladies in the room next to us because there
Oh.
was a bachelorette party or bachelor party. Which one? Bachelorette.
Yeah, bachelorette.
Yeah. So I think they had stuff going on in there, and they were just screaming. It's like, okay, what's going on in there? But yeah, it was nice food, really good food.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else? Yeah.
Do you have any particular episode of Boosh that's your favorite, that you enjoy?
I was talking to someone else about this earlier actually. My favourite episode is, I like Nanageddon. That was fun. That was fun, yeah. Yeah. Because I wrote a few bits in that as well. Like a few when the bit where the grandma throws the bus past the guy, and yeah, I wrote that joke. Well, that bit. It's not really a joke, but it's a bit.
Sure.
But yeah, so it's like yay. No, but there's lots of aspects of each episode that I enjoyed. I remember seeing the Crack Fox for the first time, the episode, because I weren't in any of the days filming for that. Like I was off that week, so I didn't have any scenes because you film it all like disjointedly. So I hadn't seen Julian as Crack Fox until I saw it on TV, and it was terrifying. I just couldn't. I was like, oh my god, what is this? Like, it would shock me. I was like, wow, because I just couldn't see Julian. I knew it was Julian, but I just made myself believe it wasn't Julian, and I was like, this is terrifying. Oh my god. Yeah, it was pretty fun though. I mean, it was fun when my parents were in the show because we got to hang out on set. It's always nice bringing your family on set, you know, bringing the family to the workplace.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of neat. Like, yeah, you know, people get to come on your film set, and, you know, family, and see what you do, and then it's like, hey, just be on the show.
It's weird because that wouldn't happen in any other profession, would it? You wouldn't like bring your parents to work if you were like a surgeon and go, have a go. Like, this guy needs an operation. Get some scrubs on. Okay. Oh, Mum, you've killed him. No, that's pretty fun though. It's fun.
How did you guys come up with the name The Mighty Boosh?
Ah, okay. Basically, when I was younger, when I was in middle school, I used to have a best friend that used to live next door to my grandma, and he had this little guy. He was Spanish. His family moved in like a few years before, and I used to have big curly hair when I was younger, and he used to call my hair the Mighty Boosh. Hey, Mighty Boosh, and like last day, my mom was like, "That's where
he
it
had the
came from."
accent, so I got you.
Yeah,
That's funny.
so that's where it came from.
It's named
Yeah,
after
my
your
hair. My
So
hair,
the whole
yeah.
show amazing.
Only happens
Named after
because
your
of you.
coif.
Yeah, because of my hair.
I mean, okay, so they called you that, but like, what made them decide, like, yeah, that'll be a great name for the show?
I think because it's such a surreal show, and like it's, you know, there was not much surreal comedy really at the time. I mean, probably the closest thing was Monty Python. And
that's
obviously
a
that
gap
was
of time,
yeah, of course. So like there was nothing really. Maybe young ones as well. That's pretty surreal. I mean, you had all the bits where it would go off, and you'd have the talking mice and stuff like that. I mean, those two are probably the closest things. So Noel just thought it was a funny word, the Boosh, Mighty Boosh.
Sure.
Like it's funny, it's weird. People go, what's the Mighty Boosh? Noel used to say it was really funny when you get like really serious like people like accountants saying the Mighty Boosh. Remember? The Mighty Boosh, like, you know, there's such a weird word. Have you heard about the Boosh? Like, it's just like...
No, that's funny because a group of friends and I, we were big fans of the animated show Frisky Dingo.
Okay, yeah.
And they would go around saying Boosh and stuff, so we'd, Boosh, and then all of a sudden, like, the Mighty Boosh is coming out, I was like, what is this? Like, like we took this little thing, that was from a show, and then now there's a show, it's like, oh, we're going to have to check that out. Yeah, so it's funny, inside jokes everywhere.
Yeah, of course.
Anyone else? Favorite episode? Yeah?
So, lots of asking about favorites, I guess.
That's fine.
Do you have a favorite character, like, throughout the series of Mighty Boosh that you like really well, or any, like, group characters, I guess, that you liked?
I love Rich. I love Rich Fulcher. I love Bob Fossil. Because he's such a ball of energy. Like, if sometimes we were feeling a bit overtired on set, or he would just come in and just like be crazy, and it would just lift our spirits. So working with him on set was always hilarious. Me and Noel would sometimes we would be out of control laughing, and like we'd get told off by we'd get in trouble with the producer and the director. They'd be like, "Stop laughing now." We're like, "We can't. Rich is here. We can't." So really, pretty much any characters that Rich played was just like, we're like, "Oh my god."
That's actually a pretty interesting thing. Like, so, with it being a sketch show and kind of being able to amp a lot of things up and go in kind of crazy directions and whatnot, like, do you have to like pull the reins on certain people? Is there like any producers giving notes going like, this is too much,
Well,
or is there a lot of freedom to that?
There's slight freedom, but the thing is, because obviously you have part of the crew, you have the person that does the continuity, the minute. So basically, anything that's not in the scripts, you would, or if you change a word on the day, like there and then, they would like after the scene, they'd come over and go, you said that word wrong, or can you stick to the script, because we've got like, so it can be very what's the word, militant like that.
Sure.
But Rich is a bit of a nightmare, because he would just go off on a rant, and like it would be so funny, but a lot of it wouldn't stay in because we have to stick to the script. Whereas that's why we like doing live a lot as well, because you can go anywhere. And we used to do like some of the mistakes that happen on lives in a live show. They'd be so funny, and they get such a laugh that they would go in the next night. But people watching would think it was happening for the first time. So like we were good at doing that. We were good at pretending to do mistakes, even though they started off as a mistake. But yeah, I mean, there is room for changing the scripts, but if you do it without telling them, they're like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. So, talked about going on tour and doing, comedy shows and routines, and that's basically still like a sketch show, right? To a point. You're live touring.
So the live show we did recently was so Noel did about 40 minutes of stand-up.
Right.
So yeah, because that's how he started. He started doing stand-up before Boosh got together. He was doing like 5-10 minutes here and there in the comedy clubs in the UK. Then he met Julian, they were doing similar stuff. So then they decided to write together. But yeah, so he did 40 minutes of stand-up. Then some of the little stories that he does, me and a guy called Tom, we would come on as characters from his stories. So there's a story.
Oh,
for instance,
okay. That's
Noel
what I
does
was
stand
getting
up.
at.
Noel does a bit of stand up about coming home, finding his wife in bed with a triangle. Yeah. So then later on, I would come on stage dressed as his wife to try and like make it up to him, and we'd have a whole big thing on stage. Be like, "Well, how did you get here?" I'm like, "Oh, I got a lift." I'm like, "Well, who from?" Like, you don't know him. Like him. And then Gordon the Triangle would come on. Our mate Tom would come on in a triangle.
Okay.
With a Toblerone penis. And then we'd do a little song, and then that was the end of the first half.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, so then the second half had a storyline.
So it wasn't so much like he was doing his comedy routines and that like you would open up the show or something.
Yes.
It was, he would be doing his bits, telling his stories, and integrated throughout would be that's a lot of fun, and it's a little different too.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And also a lot of people that hadn't seen the show, some people they had a nice surprise because they thought it was just a stand-up show. So then they see the stand-up, and then
because it's presented as a stand-up,
and then they'd be like,
comedy.
"Oh my god, like Mike and Tom are in it! Wow!" Like they thought it was just Noel, and the moon's in it, and the dark side of the moon.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, the dark side of the moon. That's like basically the moon's kind of psycho part of him.
Cool.
But yeah, so yeah, it was fun though. It's fun. It's always fun doing live stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started doing live stuff, I used to get really scared. Not scared, but I used to get really nervous.
Yeah, sure. It's a different medium, and instead of you know, if you mess up on
Yeah,
set,
yeah, of course.
start over, take your time.
Yeah.
In a
Yeah.
sense, this is like you're
Yeah,
in
of
front of
course,
people
and-
now.
and-
You're doing it.
And a lot of the time at the start, I used to be on the wings waiting to go on, and I'd literally about 30 seconds before I was going on stage, I'd forget my lines, and I'd be like, and the more you try and remember, the more you forget, and you panic. You're like, oh, shit. And then Noel would feed the line before me, the going on, and then it would all come back, and I'd be like, and I'd just go back on. So that happened so many times, and I was there going.
Was there ever an instance where you or someone else might have just kind of lost it? It's like, well, I got to do something.
a few
so it kind
times.
of course corrects or changes.
There's a really nice scene where Noel would try and make me break
Oh, that's
character,
funny.
and it would make me laugh every night, and I was just like just laughing, and the crowd love that because it's just like they know we're brothers, so it's like it brings a little bit of, I don't know, just some nice feelings into the show. You know, it means that we're not just putting on it. We're not just acting out the scene.
Right.
We're actually, you know, we are breaking
Sure.
character, and you know, that's what's nice about us is that we're, you know, it's such a warm show. You
Yeah.
know.
And a lot of that stuff always ends up being the best, you know.
Of course,
Comedy routines are cool. They're fun. You know, sometimes you can tell when they're kind of sticking to the beat. And I'm sure there was, you know, an idea that you're like, we're gonna go, but sometimes we'll kind of go around the
Yeah, of
block and
course.
go up.
There was one time during the Boosh tour I forgot to come on stage. I fell asleep. Fell asleep in one of the in the clothes trunks there, where you know, because obviously we tour around, so they lock all our clothes, they hang all our clothes up in a big trunk so they can put them in the lorry. I just sat in one and I fell asleep. I've never seen Julian so angry with me. Well, too right, because I shouldn't have done that. That was it at one time and the only time that I'd done that. We'd been up all night and I was very tired. But there's a bit where we do this theatre bit where I'm all in black and there's two cowboys, Noel and Dave are dressed up in cowboys, and they're having a fight, but with a cat, so one of them's throwing a cat. So I'm in all blacks with a black background, so I'm
you're
there with
controlling
a
the cat. Oh, that's
So-
great.
And
Yeah.
I didn't turn up. So Dave's there going, where's Mike? Like, we've got all the sound effects going, where's Mike? And so Dave just had to do it himself. And it got a laugh, but obviously, yeah.
So like, was the cat at least on stage so they could use it, or?
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't like you were also
so
gone
Dave's
with
holding
the
it.
cat.
Dave's holding it.
Gotcha.
I come on, take it off Dave, and then I just do this across the stage, and then. But
Fine.
yeah.
Where do you guys find inspiration for that surreal ass humor of yours?
I don't know. I mean, Noel's always been very into all the surreal stuff. I mean, he studied art at uni, and he's always been into Salvador Dali and all the surrealist painters. So I mean, it's just a mixture of that and all of his comedy heroes and stuff like that. You know, he was very into Spike Milligan and Monty Python, and you know, no one was really doing anything. No one had done anything since those. You know, something surreal. So you know, thought, well, let's do it. And Noel and Julian were both doing surreal stand-up,
Right.
separately. So
What's it like to sort of like spearhead that type of stuff? Be different from most other comedians.
I know it's a risk, yeah, obviously, but I mean, if you do it well, yeah, I mean, it's paid off. I mean, you know, if you do it well, you can't, you know, I think you've either got to go fully surreal or not at all. We've gone off into another ether.
You had a question back there.
Not sure maybe that was already the question, but how do you write? Where do you get the inspiration for something?
Yeah, that was, yeah.
As Mikey moved on. And follow-up question, what do you feel about Brexit, and does that influence any of your work, or does it upset you, or does it...
It upsets me. No, I think, I don't know, it's like, I don't think I think we wouldn't let. Well, I don't think we'd ever let that kind of have an effect on our comedy. It's, you know, that's not how that. There's obviously you got satire comedians that do. That's all they do. You know, they you know, they'll do stand up on comedy or shows about, you know, politics and that. My brother's never ever been into politics whatsoever. Like, I haven't either, really, to be honest. I'm not. I'd rather not think about it. I'd rather eat a bowl of cereal than think about politics. You know, give me a bowl of Fruit Loops over talking about politics any day. Obviously, you know, you have to acknowledge it because it's going on around you, but you try not to. I try and block it out, like, you know, like a bad experience. So yeah, we that's the thing. Surreal comedy is not. It's about escaping the reality, and, you know, if we was to try and do some stuff about politics, I think we'd lose all of our fan base. Even if we did it in a surreal way, they'd be like, nah. But
Mike Boosh always makes a lot of references to your, you know, like how easy or hard was it to get in and make an appearance when you did. And what did he think of Mike Boosh?
funny enough, it's weird because growing up, my mum's best friend's husband produced Gary Newman's album, so he used to take my brother to, like, record launches, and took him to an award ceremony when he was, like, younger. My brother, I don't think I was born then, but yeah, he took him to an award ceremony, and my brother was like, "This is so bizarre." And then later on, when when Noel got into music, he got into Gary Newman, not because of that, just because he loved, you know, he liked all that music. And then he was like, so I think they just thought it'd be nice to get a few cameos, you know, in the show, and references to what music that the guys like, you know. So, like, we have Roger Daltrey in an episode. Gary Newman. We had Frank Zappa's daughter, Diva Zappa, is in an episode. It's nice just to get, you know, musicians that we know as well, you know, they're always up for, you know, being in TV shows. It's just a bit different for them, because they do music generally, they're musicians, so it's nice for them to be in a show, doing a comedy show. They're like, oh, this is fun. They're like, well, you know, this is not like the normal day. So yeah. And because it was quite a hip show, I think these celebs were musicians, they were up for doing it. You know, if it was a like a mundane show, or like just a normal show, I don't think maybe they wouldn't do it. I don't know, who knows? But, you know, if it was the In-Betweeners, something like that, they'd probably go, no, I'm not going to be in that, because there's a lot of music in it, and there's a lot of, you know, the fashion in it is really cool, you know, like Noel's costumes and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. You know, it's a trendy show, so I think they didn't have any problem being in the show. So. But it was weird when I turned up on set and Gary Newman was there.
It's like, this is from my childhood. Like, yeah. No, that's cool.
It's funny, but apparently Benicio del Toro asked to be in one of the episodes. But we'd already filmed the series. I think it was the second series. I think he rang up our agent and was like, "Can I be in the show?" Because he'd seen the first season. And my agent had to go, "Sorry, we finished." That would have been weird.
It's almost like at some point you just go like, how do we somehow get just cell phone footage?
Yeah.
Just to throw him in there.
Do you have, I guess I don't know if you guys got anything, but I know sometimes actors get like souvenirs or small things from the set that they can like keep as a memento. And if you've got any of those, do you have like a favorite one? Did you get more than one thing, I guess? Or
I've got my curly shoes. I wear them in the house sometimes. if I've ordered like something online and I go to the door to greet the postman, like, if I've got a parcel, I'll wear my curly. He'll be like, okay. I also got, because I think it was in Nanageddon, I think it was. there's a bit where like I think it was from my room, my bedroom, had like all weird like trinkets and all stuff like that. I think there was I got a skull bong that was in there, a skull pipe. Yeah, so I got that in my garage somewhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys had a lot of running gags in the show. Was there any particular running gag that was your favorite?
Running or running?
Like Cheekbone magazine.
Oh,
Or
okay.
turning your back.
Okay. I don't know. There's so many. I know I like Bolo's. I've got a bad feeling about this. Amazing. It's weird because I was watching Star Wars and I realised that Han Solo says that. And I was like, oh my god, like that's ridiculous. Hope George Lucas hasn't seen it because it's maybe there's that
he
and there's
probably
Naboo
knows.
and there's
Yeah.
Naboo. Like oh fuck. There's two things. But no, I don't think they hadn't. I mean, Noel is a big Star Wars fan. He was when he was growing up, but I don't think that they linked the two together. I think it was just a funny thing to say for a gorilla. I hope.
Well, was there anything else like that in a sense where like I'm a big fan of this thing, I want to kind of pay like a tribute to it or something? Or...
There's lots of references
Sure,
in there.
sure.
Lots. I mean, every episode's got a reference to
Right,
something
right.
that we like, or
Yeah, there's like the episode with you got like the apes in there and stuff like.
Ape of Hell.
Yeah. It felt very almost like Planet of the Apes type.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So didn't
yeah.
know if some of that was like directly because like we big fans of
Yeah.
that, so let's
Yeah.
kind of incorporate it to make our own thing. Or...
I think most of the references, pretty much most of them are probably music based, musicians and music. But there are a few ones that obviously you got the first episode, the kangaroo one, Killaroo. It's the way it's shot is very Raging Bull. The fight scenes in that. I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, wow, it's like watching Raging Bull. It's like, but yeah, there are a lot of references.
Sure.
Definitely.
Anyone else? Starting to get a little close to time for wrapping up. We got less than 10 minutes, so again, if there's anything.
Do you guys have a favourite episode?
Yeah.
I think the follow-ups of Monkey Hell were
Yeah.
one of my favorites, and then my second favorite is definitely Anecdotes.
Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. The party's always fun. Yeah.
Milky Joe is my favorite.
It's funny because they wrote Milky Joe in about half an hour. They hadn't. We had. I mean, how many? I'm trying to think how many episodes in the second season. There's like there's 6 or 7. So no, one series we could only do. We had to miss an episode out because we ran out of money. So
Yeah.
I think. But yeah, we'd filmed most of it, and then they were like, okay, we need one more episode, and they were like, okay, what are we gonna do? So literally, they went into the office and wrote, and they were like, okay, and then literally within a few hours, they were like, we've got something, and that's a lot of people's favourite one. It's like they spent the least on it. It's the most weirdest one as well.
Yeah, sometimes it, for creative people, a lot of times it's you end up being so like almost hunkered down to like
Yeah.
I have to do this specific thing, and then like when a wrench gets thrown,
Yeah.
it's like, oh wow, what do I gotta do? And like you're freaking out, there's anxiety, but somehow like it pulls the best parts out.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it
of
makes
course, yeah.
sense that that would like be a lot of people's favorites because it's maybe the for something that does feel somewhat improv-ish and whatnot,
Yeah.
like it still like feels maybe a little extra out there.
Yeah,
It's
of
like,
course.
That's the one.
A lot of it's weird because a lot of people in this, like a lot of you guys over here, was like you. The first thing you saw of us before you saw the series was the Crack Fox on YouTube. Like a lot of people are saying, we saw that skit on YouTube, like the Crack Fox. That's the first. That's how we found out about the Boosh. It's like crazy. It's weird. It's interesting though.
Sure.
But it's weird. It's amazing how it's just kind of touched a lot of people. You know, like it's weird because we were over here about 8 years ago, and we did like with the Boosh band. We did a few gigs we did the Roxy in LA.
Oh, nice.
And
Yeah.
Robin Williams, bless him, he came to the show because he was a fan of ours, and we met him backstage, and I was like, this is so insane. He was doing impressions of the Crack Fox. He was like, I like the Crack Fox. Like, I'm going to hurt you real bad. I was like, it blew our minds. We were going, oh my god, this is insane. Like, one of our heroes. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
You just don't put. You just, you know.
It's, you know, it's humbling, and it makes you feel like too at the same point, like they are us.
Of course.
You know, they're just, you
Of
know,
course. Yeah.
you are us. You
I
know,
know.
it's
I know.
people that have, you know, gotten lucky enough to be able to,
Yeah.
you know, break whatever that ceiling is to get into it, and you know, so yes, noticing like, yes, this ultra huge star like Robin Williams, and I'm sure others are just like, the thing that you're doing, you know, which may seem so close to home and maybe so small, you know, to you because you're part of it, like, it's huge to them.
But also, for Noel and Julian, like, obviously, like, because my brother was like, you know, and Julian, like, Robin Williams is one of their heroes. Like, when, you know, these people got them into comedy, like, the reason they started doing comedy, because, you know, these funny people. And, you know, so that meant a lot to them. You know, well, it meant a lot to all of us, but it meant more to Noel and Julian, because, you know, something that they'd written and worked on for such a long time. One of their heroes was saying, I like this, you know, it's crazy. Yeah, but it's beautiful at the same time, it's lovely. It's so warming, and, no.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Any other things like that? Or, oh, sorry, go ahead. Yes.
You said that a lot of people found it by seeing the Crack Fox bit. I personally got it because when I was in college, the video.
Oh, did I say Crack Fox? I mean, Greg, sorry.
Yes, the old Greg bit went around.
I meant Greg,
oh
sorry.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I didn't realise I said Crack Fox, I meant Greg, sorry. Yeah.
So that went around a lot, and that was the thing that launched a lot of people into seeing it. If you had to pick a piece from the show, like a clip from the show that would be the thing to like advertise or introduce somebody to it, is there a clip that you think is like sort of being boiled down the most, or something that's very iconic that you feel like might pull someone in?
I don't know.
Maybe that's your favorite.
It probably would be Greg, because it's the weirdest thing. It's like, you go, what is this? And like, do you know that Greg's based on Rick James? Yeah. My brother's a big Rick James fan. So he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
And you think about it, he does talk a little bit like Rick James. I'm Rick James. Like, he does.
Oh,
You
yeah.
go, oh yeah,
Great.
shit. Yeah.
That's funny. For some reason, like, I didn't even connect the two. It's like, duh.
And they say they're like subtle references, but then there are references that are like, oh yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Like the Hitcher, it's based on my granddad. My granddad's not a green man witch that stabs people. Don't get me wrong, he's not. No, but my granddad spoke like that. He was Cockney, and we go around to see him, and he'd be like, "Hello, boys!" Like we're like, so that's how we got the voice for the Hitcher. So there's so many little things like. Yeah, and my dad, growing up, we used to call my dad Christopher. Do you guys know Christopher, right? Over here? Yeah, he sang Lady in Red, and my dad looks a lot like him. So growing up, we used to take the mickey out of my dad, and we used to call him Christopher, especially around Christmas time. And my dad would lose it, he'd go mad. He'd go, "I'm not Christopher." So then we got. There's a character that was Christopher, and we've got my dad to play him. So we're like that's.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else to start to wrap this up?
I know that Noel is inspired a lot by visual art, and I wondered if you did any of your own visual art.
I do art. I do abstract stuff. So like, I do random stuff. I had an exhibition with Noel actually a couple of years ago. I painted when I was little, I used to call I don't know where it came from, but I used to call my Nanny Porpoise. I don't know why. When you're a kid, they come up with weird names. There's no link to any kind of aquatic animal. I'm Nanny Porpoise. So we're gonna go and see Nanny Porpoise. So and she used to wear this like nana dress that looked like a football kit. So I painted a porpoise in a football kit, and that was one of my paintings, and it was Nanny Porpoise. We had our exhibition in London, and a Boosh fan came over from the States and was like, I want to buy that. I was like, really? That's Nanny Porpoise? She's like, yeah, I love the story behind it as well. So she's got it in her bathroom. I was like, sweet.
Okay, I was going to say, was she around to be able to see it?
My nan, no. Unfortunately.
Oh,
so.
okay.
She wouldn't have understood anyway. My nan was French. My nan was French. She just went and went.
Like, yeah, cool. You drew something.
She didn't really. My nan and my grandparents didn't really understand what Noel's job was. Really, they were like, "Why don't you get a normal job?" Like.
So like.
But they were proud. My nan used to show her friends when she used to go and get a haircut. She's in the hairdressers. Oh, this is my son. My grandson is on telly. Oh, and my other grandson. Like, but she didn't understand what we did. Like.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Anything that you would like to close with?
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, if there is anything that you did want to ask, didn't want to speak in front of people, that's okay. He'll be at his desk, still signing and hanging out.
Yeah, come say hi.
People and thank you all for being here and being part of it.
Thank you very much.
Give it up.
Thank you.